On this week's episode of Motivational Minutes, author Suzanne Corso shares her secrets for beating writer's block. When it
Yes.
comes to the writing process, though, again, back to that, writer's block. Is that a real thing, or do you think that's a mythological thing that just means you don't have a good idea at the time? Like,
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. And I think that when a phrase is, invented, everyone jumps on it. I never had writer's block because I just write about what I know. If
Yeah.
someone said to me, write a story about, you and Corey today on the podcast, I'd be fine. I'd knock that out immediately. But for me, it was easy. I wrote about what I knew. Growing up in Brooklyn at the time, I was in an emotional, abusive relationship, physically, emotionally. It was stressful. It was horrible. So I was able to get my feelings out onto paper. When you write about what you know, you can never fail.
Yeah.
Never. I did it with book 2 and book 3, and you have to write about what you know. So if you get writer's block, so to speak, just stop what you're doing and write about what you know.
That raises a really interesting point about writing that I've found, which is that it is cathartic, getting it out.
Yes.
So it almost serves a different purpose, or a dual purpose, I'll say. It's
Right.
not like, okay, I'm gonna get this story out because I'm trying to sell a book. I have found that when I've gotten that story out on paper, it's like I purged emotion,
It's the best.
right?
It's the best. You ever want to yell at someone, or this is a great one, what I've learned, not to react so quickly. So you ever get an email or an Instagram or someone says something that pisses you off, don't react immediately.
Right.
Step back, don't do it. Read it, step away. Even if it goes to the next day, your feelings are completely different. Then react, because when you react right away, it just changes everything.
Yeah, and you're more likely to say something
you don't
that
want
you
to
really don't
say.
Yeah. Because I've come back to emails the next day and I'm like, oh, or a text message and I'm like, yeah,
I've done that. Now
I'm
on my best behavior.
Yeah, it's wise.
Yeah.
It's a very wise decision. So especially,
Yes.
anyone out there, young or older, it's
Yes.
a great bit of advice to sort of not react, not be reactionary.
Of course.
To hold on for a moment before you respond. Wow.
Yes.
Gosh, well, Suzanne, it's almost we're getting close to our end time here already.
Oh, you and I could talk forever if we only had drinks.
I know.
Just continue.
Yeah, that'll be part 2. That'll be the second half.
That'll be part 2.
Yeah, that'll be like very motivational Mondays. Yeah.
Oh,
but
what I do want to say,
yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Sure, no.
All the young girls out there who want to write books, want to get in, just keep going.
Yes.
Keep getting it on paper. Don't stop. Whoever tells you no, we all have a story, and all our stories should be heard. So don't stop. Just keep going. And there's so many platforms for you to give your story. If you wanted to give it yourself, you can go on YouTube and say, hi, this is my name, this is my book, and just translate your whole book on YouTube. Everyone will see it.
I love that.
You'll always be heard. That's what I want to say.
Oh, that's wonderful, because that's why I asked the question about misogyny, and because every industry, no matter what, has misogyny and has sexism. So I knew that it would happen in the publishing world too. And, I have heard people get turned down because a book editor has said, oh, well, there was already a story about that. Right. Well, that's not this woman's story. You know what I mean? It's like, it has nothing to do with the other person.
I know. And it happens with movie studios too. It's very interesting. But then there's always a movie studio that says, I see it. I get it.
Yeah.
And they go for it. They get it.
Yes. And it's important to also, I want to repeat that you said 35 rejections before
35.
You got the agent who then helped you get the book deal, all within a week after
a
you
week,
got that.
A week, literally. Monday morning, she sends 10 pages. The next day he says, send me the whole book. And then by Thursday, is Suzanne around? Could she come in for a meeting Friday? I'll never forget. She goes, Sue, they want to see you Friday. I go, they do? She goes, yeah. I go, what does that mean? They're going to give you a deal. And I just, you know what that was like?
I mean, to hear that for any young author trying to get, I get goosebumps just hearing that.
Yeah. Story. It was amazing. And I knew what I had, and I know what I'm going to do with the film, and it'll affect a lot of women. And I'm always here to answer their questions and help.
Subscribe today for more inspiration on the go.